One of the biggest takeaways that I ever had in life, and by the way, listen to this, especially if you're trying to make more money and raise your income. Scientists have studied the biggest factor, what makes people successful, not just with money, but in life in general. And I've never met someone successful that's not highly conscientious, that doesn't have a superpower of conscientiousness. So I gotta explain this, because this is something they never teach in school. No parents really teach their kids anymore. They used to teach this 100 years ago, but it's zero. And here's a story, two stories. One, when I was 19, I was walking through a field with Joel Salatin, daydreaming, because I was from the city, and people in the city are told that daydreaming is such a wonderful thing. Yeah, once in a while, if you're Albert Einstein, it is. But even Albert Einstein paid attention to what he was doing in the moment. He came up with the theory of relativity equals MC squared while he was working at the post office 10 hours a day, sorting mail, paying attention. He wasn't, people have this thing like, oh, Stephen Hawking, Albert Einstein, they just lay there and just daydream and let their mind wander. Yeah, sometimes, but not all the time. So I'm walking through this field with Joel, I'm like, la, la, and I didn't notice there was a gate open and all the cattle were getting out. I'll never forget this. He turned to me, he kind of jolted me. He raised his voice, like, oh. I was like, what? He's like, there's a time to stop and smell the roses, and it's not right now. Time to stop and smell the roses. And he was saying, this is a time to be aware of where we are. When you're at home and you're laying in bed or you're eating, then you can daydream, or you're writing a book, you know? But he's like, now pay attention now. And that one thing that I learned from him, I would say is responsible for more of all the money I've ever been able to generate with my businesses and in life. It's responsible for 60% of it. That one lesson right there. Another way of saying this is what Sam Chupp, I went and lived with the Amish, who are also very situationally aware. They're connected to the land. They pay attention to what they're doing. And Sam Chupp told me, he said, Ty, there's 3 types of people in the world. One makes things happen. The second watches things happen. And the third wonders what happened. And he said that kind of with a twinkle in his eye and a little joke, and I realized that's the entire world, the third one. It's okay to not always make things happen. Sometimes you gotta watch other people teach you. But that third one should never happen to you. Never wonder what happened. Andrea, never get a ticket and be like, oh, where am I flying? Look at the damn thing. It has the letters right in there. Pay attention to detail. Then you figure it out. It's literally a 6-year-old lesson that almost every adult in the modern world has. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And when the student's not ready, you ever heard that saying? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Everybody loves that saying, but what's the reverse, the inverse, the opposite? When the student's not ready, the teacher will disappear. Remember that. That's the negative side, but true. The teachers leave when the student's not ready. So you better make yourself ready for this, what I'm talking about now. Be conscientious. Be that person that's reliable. And I'm not doing it in some cheesy way, like give your best. Forget cliche. I'm talking about, you want to make 10 million bucks? Never met somebody ever, not once, who doesn't have. Let me tell you this second story about Joel Salatin. You know, I like to collect cars. I've always loved cars since my mom said I used to sneak in the garage when I was under 3 years old, and I'd try to take a key and put it in I would scratch the cars. I'd get in trouble. I was trying to put it in. I wanted to drive. Well, I've always liked cars, so now I got a little more money than I did when I was 3 years old, so I collect cars. And I had this Lamborghini, the black one, the smaller one. I have 2. I got 2 Lamborghinis now, and I'm in the city. You would think city people know a lot about fancy cars, right? Because Hollywood. So I had that Lamborghini for like a year. Joel Salatin comes to speak at a conference I have. He flies from a little small town in Virginia to a big city, Los Angeles. I pick him up at the airport. First thing he does, I picked him up. I happened to have the Lamborghini. I wasn't even trying to pick him up in it, but I was like, I don't know, picked up from service shop or something. He walks up to it and he goes, this is an interesting car. And he starts noticing 10 things about that car. He's like, those are probably like 24-inch the wheel width. Oh wait, I see how they put that the way that, I forget, I can't even remember what it was. He said basically it's an engine on axles, on just a frame, and that's why it's so fast. And he talked about it for 10 minutes, and I thought, oh, I got all these people that watch my videos of Lamborghinis, all these kids that are like, we know a lot about cars. Joel, simple farmer, observed more things about that car. To this day, not one person has ever said, and Joel's not even really a car guy, he's just observant. That's situational awareness. Another example, when Mark Cuban was over at my house, some of you, a couple million of you have seen that video. Well, he was at my house for a long time, but I only posted on YouTube like 20 minutes of it. But the most situationally aware person to ever walk at my house where I live, my Knowledge Society headquarters of my business in Beverly Hills, was Mark Cuban. The dude walked in, he noticed so much stuff, it's hilarious to this day. Now, this is a billionaire, the guy from Shark Tank, the owner of Dallas Mavericks. He walked through, he's like, why do your doorknobs work like that? I forget what it was exactly, but he like 7 things he noticed. To this day, I just had 350 entrepreneurs at my house. They want to be entrepreneurs. Not one person noticed any of the stuff that a billionaire did. You make money when you're conscious. The dude pays attention. That's why he made, what's he worth? $2-3 billion? How'd you like to have $3,000 million in your bank account? I don't know if he's all cash, but that's what his net worth is. It's a lot of money. And he earned it by doing stuff that most people won't do. And don't wonder what happened. If somebody asks you what happened in World War I, you should be able to give a decent answer. And you might go, well, why does history matter? What matters is that you're observant. World War I wasn't that long ago. You shouldn't understand the basics of World War I, World War II, Vietnam War. You should understand what happened in Iraq, what happened in Syria. You should know the basics. Here's a test. I'm going to test you right now listening to this. Most people, and I'm assuming you look at your keyboard on your laptop or your computer a lot, okay? So I'm going to ask you this question. What does F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7, F8, F9 do? What do those all do? And I bet you can't. I bet you 0 people will watch this video or listen to this audio and be able to answer all of those. Nah, I shouldn't say 0. I'll be a realist. 1 per 10,000. So let me get this straight. You look at something, but you never take the time to be curious enough and go, why did they put the F1, F2 there? Why'd they put it there? I've done this at conferences where there's hundreds or thousands of people, and I see people Googling it to try to look smart, but nobody knows the answer right away. What's F5 do? What's F6 do? There are keyboards on people use their keyboard freaking 30% of their entire life, and they don't know shortcuts. They don't know how to switch tabs. They don't know how to close. So the practical thing, pay attention, be curious, be a perfectionist when it's called for, and be smart with decisions and know when it's not called for. Do I get off here, it said? What does a little 3-year-old ask you over and over? Why? Why? And most parents suppress that in their kids. They're like, don't ask so much whys. Don't say that to your kids. Encourage your kids to say why. Because the person who says why at the right time, there is a wrong time to do it. Like when somebody's, on an airplane, you don't turn to people next to you and go, why is this plane in the air? Why am I sitting? But notice everything. You notice that this road right here, it's crowned in the middle. You know why it's crowned in the middle? Because it rains a lot here on the East Coast, and the water that way runs off. If you don't crown it in the middle, it'll pool in the middle, and you'll get puddles. Why? Sometimes I've asked myself, why is that grassy median right there? That looks like it's about 30-ish feet, maybe 25 feet. Why'd they pick 25? And in some places, it's only 2. Pine trees, right there in front of me. Why do pine trees not lose their leaves in the winter? And regular trees do. I can name every tree in there. People drive by trees, ask what they are. It's because I went through a point in life, I was like, I'm gonna find out what every tree is. There's a willow's trees right there. I can also name almost all those grasses. Those are sedges right there. Those ones sticking up. That's bull thistle right there. There's fescue and orchard grass and plantain and burdock, and that's a sumac tree. Pay attention. And it doesn't have to be just about nature. That's how you make money. That's how you also impress people. People always ask me, how do you get a mentor? Don't be stupid. First rule. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And when the student's not ready, the teacher will disappear. So if you're stupid, and here's the definition of stupid. I'm not talking about book smart. I'm talking about if you drive by the same thing every day of your life and you never ask a question why, that's a locust tree. It's a legume. Do you know what a legume is? People should know what a legume is. You eat them. Beans are legumes. Why are they important? They fix nitrogen from the air. Those are magic words. You write that sentence down. When someone says something that you don't think is correct, and you know they're a smart person, now if they're an idiot, you can ignore it. But if they're a smart person and they have an opposite belief of you, what you should do is go, that sounds opposite of what I was thinking. What do you know that I don't know? What do you know that I don't know? Those are the magic words of life, man. You meet some rich person and they're making more money than you, and instead of going off into your rant about wealthy ruining the world, why don't you ask them, hey, what do you know about making money that I didn't learn? Like, I swear, you go ask 10 people that, you make more money this month, this week maybe. You ask 10 people who know how to make money, yo, what do you know that I don't know? They'll start telling you stuff. They'll start revealing their inner secrets that they hardly told anybody. Ask. Ask and you will receive. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will open up. Don't be stupid, I guess is what I'm trying to say in this whole video. Don't be stupid. And then everything gets fixed. And it's not book smart or book stupid. I meet all these people that are like environmentalists. I don't see you on a farm. Really? You really care about the environment? Buy a damn piece of land and go fix it. That'll take hard work though. That's a lot harder than yabbing your mouth. You're a vegan and you don't think there should be, animals? We'll go grow a huge garden and go feed your whole block with good vegan food. Then I'll respect you. What do I have to respect you just because you have an opinion? I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I'm just saying you're vegan, you're an environmentalist. I don't see you out there. Go pick up trash on your street. One day a week shouldn't be the greatest day of the week, but it should be a learning day. Maybe you're under stress because you're in a group where you're the dumbest person. That's stressful. Once a week, be in a room where you're the dumbest person in the room, because it's the only way to learn. You have to be dumber than the people around you. That's how you get smarter. Once a week, be in the gym with somebody so much stronger than you that you're fully intimidated and you're very looking at your body like, yo, what is wrong with me? Like, yo, I'm fat, I'm out of shape. And if you're in great shape, find somebody that embarrasses you. You want to make $1 million? Find somebody who would be embarrassed to make $1 million in a year and spend time around them, and then you'll learn. Law of 33%. It's a video I did, a TEDx talk that I did a couple years ago. Simplify. I'm going to start paying attention. How far apart did they put the I-beams on that bridge? It's a great way. Is literally look at everything. What's RES do? Don't be driving in a car that you don't know what the buttons do. Next time you're on a web page, click every button. You go to Amazon. Today, I was buying something on Amazon. I went to my account and I just started clicking through all of them because I was kind of like, I wonder what all these do. I just wanted to know. That's what you got to do. Just check everyone. Every single one. I'm going to get off here and grab some food. Everyone. If you got a boyfriend or girlfriend who broke up with you, don't just cry. Make a list. Be organized. What do I think are the 7 main reasons that they broke up with me? Oh, okay. I will have the Wikipedia for the road. 42 is a road that runs through 2 of my farms. And I was like, What's the origin? I remember Googling it. It was interesting. It made my life more enriched. When I drive down the road, I understand it. Understand that Jeep right there. Who owns Jeep? How much revenue does that company make? You want to make more money? Start figuring out company. How much does Jeep make? Who knows off the top of their head? No stuff. 4x4. Why is four-wheel drive better? Do you understand the physics? Google it. Here's the sad thing. Everything I'm asking you to do used to be hard to do because you used to have to go down to the library, check out a book, and find this out. Now it's on Google and it's amazing. Now there's Google and people know less than they did before Google. They really do. I think maybe it's just like you're like, oh, I don't need to know anything. I can just Google it. Well, you have to hold some stuff in your brain as the raw materials to making smart decisions. If everything's on Google, you don't have enough in your subconscious. Fill up your subconscious with understanding the world. Understand right there, why in that flat area is the soil better than at the top of the hill? Why do locusts grow so much in Los Angeles? I mean, in Virginia here. Speed limit 55. It's actually interesting why they set the speed limit at 55. For every 1 mile an hour you lower the speed limit, this many thousand people less die. So in the world, we basically make a compromise. We go, we'll set the speed limit to 55, knowing that more people will get killed every year, but we're more productive because we can get where we need to go. So it's interesting, there's whole people who devote their life to transportation and going, should I set it to 55? And sometimes they'll set it to 65 and 70. Understand why it's that way. If you see a movie, go to Box Office Mojo, find out what the budget is and how much revenue. Don't just be like someone like, I'm in my fantasy. Figure out the business behind it. That trucking company, Purdue. Why does this company right here control more food than almost any company in America? Purdue, started in 1920. Google it. They have a freaking Purdue.com. And people go, Ty, I'm too busy to do all this bullshit. You too busy to make money? Because this is how you make money. When I meet people that don't know stuff too much, that they're like a deer in headlights and they're like, oh, well, I know they have no chance to get what they want, which is a sad thing. It's not like I take it happiness. I'm like, damn, I feel bad for this person. What's wrong with them? Why do they put those little markers on the side? Easy to figure out. Wakes you up. How much weight can that Foster's truck hold? I just had 2 trucks bring me compost. Each of them held, I think they held 79,000 pounds when you counted the truck. 80,000. You know why 79,000 pounds? Because there's laws in Virginia that you destroy the roads when your truck is over, I think 40 or 45 tons is the most that a truck does. This is all information that you could hold. My brain, I'm smart, but you could hold the information too. You're probably smarter than you think. You just got dumbed down by the system. It's a walnut tree. Why do walnuts grow here and not pecans? Frank was asking that. Pecans in Virginia, the part of Virginia that's up in the mountains, it doesn't have enough BTUs. Why are BTUs important? They're heat units. And they determine your growing. You need a minimum amount of BTUs. That's why you can't grow certain things here, like oranges. That's why corn grows better when it has a lot of moisture and a lot of heat. It has a big leaf. You should understand. By the way, start with biology, because biology is the fundamental of life. And I don't mean biology books, weird stuff. I mean like actually understand the common sense thing. Why is there kudzu on there? Where'd kudzu come from? And you know what's weird is if I had this conversation with 99% of planet Earth, it's like I'm speaking another language. People don't know what tare weight is. That's tare weight on there. Meaning, you know, you have gross weight and then of the truck and then what's on there. Understand as much as you can about the world, and the next thing you know, the world will start making sense. And once the world starts making sense, then you can make sense of your life and you can fit the pieces of the puzzle together. So I'll end by saying this. Remember, life is a puzzle, and the purpose of life is to put the puzzle pieces together. There is no other purpose on this planet Earth.